Pathology of uterus. First, let's see about the endometrial disorders. The main disorders include endometriosis, adenomyosis, endometrial hyperplasia, and the carcinoma of the endometrium. Firstly, let's see about the endometriosis. Endometriosis is the presence of ectopic endometrial tissue outside the uterus. It involves both the glands and the stroma, and the most common site of endometriosis is ovaries, followed by uterine ligament, followed by rectovaginal septum and the cul-de-sac. Most common age group affected is 30 to 40 years. Clinical features of endometriosis include infertility, dysmenorrhea, pelvic pain, and dyspareunia. Pathogenesis of endometriosis. The origin of endometriosis can be either from the uterine endometrium or from outside the uterus and from the cells which has the capacity to give rise to the endometrial tissue. So there can be two origins for endometriosis. Next is theory for the origin of endometriosis. There are four theories. First, regurgitation theory. This states that there is retrograde menstruation to the fallopian tube which causes endometriosis. Next is benign metastasis theory. There is metastasis to different tissues like bone, lung and the brain via the blood vessels and the lymphatics from the uterus. So this is another theory of endometriosis. The third is metaplastic theory. Here there is metaplasia of the coelomic epithelium leading to endometriosis, and the last is extrauterine stem or progenitor cell theory. So this states that the stem or progenitor cells from the bone marrow differentiates into the endometrium, forming the endometriosis. Molecular changes seen in endometriosis. First is the release of pro-inflammatory factors like prostaglandin E2, interleukin 1 beta, tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukin 8, interleukin 6, etc. The next is increased estrogen production by the endometrioid stromal cells. Next is the complication of endometriosis. Endometriosis can progress to endometrial cancer. Coming to the morphology, grossly there is presence of nodules ranging from red-blue to yellow-brown in color, and there is hemorrhage which progresses to fibrosis, progressing to fibrous adhesion which obliterates the pouch of Douglas. Next, there is presence of chocolate cysts or called as endometriomas. Coming to the microscopy, both endometrial glands and the stromal tissues may or may not show the hemosiderin-laden macrophages. So that was all about endometriosis. The next is adenomyosis. Adenomyosis is the presence of endometrial tissue within the uterine wall, that is myometrium. The clinical features of adenomyosis is menorrhagia, colicky dysmenorrhea, dyspareunia and pelvic pain. Coming to the morphology, grossly there is enlargement of the uterus, and the microscopy shows nests of benign endometrial glands and the stroma within the myometrium. This is in short about adenomyosis. The next disorder is endometrial hyperplasia. There is increased endometrial glands relative to the stroma. So the ratio of endometrial glands to the stroma is increased. This is called as endometrial hyperplasia. In endometrial hyperplasia, there is abnormal uterine bleeding and it can progress to carcinoma. Etiology, that is the causes. First is prolonged estrogen stimulation, which can be either endogenous or exogenous. The endogenous causes are obesity, in which more amount of androgens are converted to estrogen. Next is menopause, PCOD, polycystic ovarian disease, and functioning granulosa cell tumor. All these are endogenous causes for prolonged estrogen stimulation. The exogenous cause is prolonged administration of estrogenic substances. This is the first etiology. The next is mutation of tumor suppressor gene PTEN. PTEN. This gene is mutated. So the PTEN function is lost. So the PI3K-AKT pathway is overactive and this leads to hyperplasia and it can also cause carcinoma. Classification of uterine hyperplasia. First, simple hyperplasia without atypia. Next is simple hyperplasia with atypia. Next is complex hyperplasia without atypia. And the last is complex hyperplasia with atypia. These are the 4 types of endometrial hyperplasia. And the last disorder of endometrium is carcinoma of endometrium, which is commonly seen in the age group of 55 to 65 years. The carcinoma of endometrium is of 2 types, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is endometrioid carcinoma and type 2 is serous carcinoma. The clinical features of type 1 carcinoma is this presence of hypertension, obesity, unopposed estrogen action and the diabetes, whereas in type 2 endometrial carcinoma there is atrophy and the patient has thin physique. The precursor in type 1 endometrial carcinoma is endometrial hyperplasia, whereas the precursor in type 2 endometrial carcinoma is the serous endometrial intraepithelial carcinoma, and the mutation in type 1 is PTEN, PIK3CA and TP53 gene mutation, whereas in type 2 there is mutation of TP53 and PIK3CA. Here the TP53 mutation is more common, whereas in type 1 the PTEN mutation is more common. The type 1 endometrial carcinoma is slowly progressive, whereas the type 2 is aggressive and it has poor prognosis. Type 1 endometrial carcinoma, that is the endometrioid carcinoma, it is a localized polypoid tumor and a diffuse tumor which can be infiltrative. The grading is grade 1 indicates well differentiated tumor, grade 2 indicates moderately differentiated tumor and grade 3 is poorly differentiated tumor. The type 2 endometrial carcinoma is the serous carcinoma. This occurs in patients 10 years older than type 1. And these are more commonly grade 3 tumors. That is the poorly differentiated tumors. And more commonly there is mutation in TP53 gene in 90% of the patients. TP53 is a tumor suppressor gene. So there is mutation in tumor suppressor gene TP53 and the serous carcinoma arises from the atrophic uteri. The clinical features, it is most common in postmenopausal women of age 55 to 65 years and the patient has irregular vaginal bleeding and excessive leukorrhea. Lastly, coming to the tumors of myometrium, the 2 main tumors are leiomyomas and leiomyosarcomas. Leiomyoma is benign whereas leiomyosarcoma is malignant. First let's see about leiomyoma. which is also called as fibroid uterus. The leiomyoma is the most common tumor of females. This is a benign smooth muscle neoplasm. Molecular changes seen in leiomyoma. There is rearrangement of chromosomes 12q14 and 6p involving the HMG-IC and HMG-IY genes respectively, and there is mutation in the MET12 gene. Morphology of leiomyoma. Grossly, it presents as sharply circumscribed, discrete, round, firm grey tumors. Size ranges from small nodules to massive tumors, and in cut section there is whorled pattern of smooth muscle bundles, and there is red degeneration in large tumors. Sites, it can be either intramural, that is present within the myometrium, it can be submucosal, that is beneath the endometrium, and subserosal, which is beneath the serosa. This is intramural, this is submucosal, which is beneath the endometrium, and 3 is subserosal, beneath the serosa. Microscopy of leiomyoma. This is the microscopy, and these blue color cells are the spindle shaped tumor cells, and this brown are the interlacing bundles of smooth muscles. Clinical features of leiomyoma is there is abnormal bleeding and infertility. Lastly, the leiomyosarcoma, which is a rare tumor, and it is malignant smooth muscle tumor. Microscopically, there is mitotic rate more than 10 per HPF, that is high power field. This is about the pathology of uterus. Thank you.